Hi guys, Victoria here. I hope you had a wonderful, if not different, Easter. It was certainly different to what we would normally experience, I think, which can be a little bit unnerving maybe, but I hope it was nice and relaxed for you all, if nothing else. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about confidence and self-esteem. I know it's something that most of us struggle with from time to time, and some of you might think it's something that you either have or you don't, but that's really not the case. Confidence is something that we can all work on, even if we're feeling insecure or like we're lacking in confidence. I know, having spoken to some of you, that some of you are worried about how the current situation is going to affect your confidence when it comes to getting back to normal life. Lots of you have made incredible progress in terms of improving your mental wellness and getting into routines and habits that help you to feel well. And now lots of you are out of those routines. I know that there are some concerns about how that's going to affect your well-being and confidence going forward. So I wanted to talk to you this morning about some of the things that you can do to work on your self-confidence and self-esteem, so that you're feeling ready to take life by the horns again when this awful business is all over with. So self-confidence is defined as a feeling of trust in your own abilities, your qualities and strengths, and your ability to succeed in life. And self-esteem is the opinion we have of ourselves, and both are really important to your health and mental well-being. When we feel more confident, we're much more likely to try new things, whether it's applying for a promotion at work, or trying out a new recipe for dinner, or getting involved in a new social activity group. When you feel confident, you're more able to devote your energy and resources to the task in hand, because you're not doubting and questioning yourself and talking yourself out of things. So confidence is a tool that can help you manage your fears and tackle life's challenges. And when we have a healthy amount of self-esteem, we tend to feel positive about ourselves and our life in general, which better equips us to cope with, the challenges that life throws at us and the general ups and downs of life. So low self-esteem can often begin in childhood. So the people in our lives, from friends to siblings, teachers, relatives, parents, and the things that we experience send us both positive and negative messages about ourselves. And unfortunately, for some reason, the negative messages are usually the ones that stick. Funny that. And then once a person is prone to viewing themselves through a negative lens, they tend to then only accept in the information that fits with the way that they already think and feel about themselves. So it can be quite tricky once you're in that frame of mind to accept any information in that doesn't fit with what you already believe, even if it's positive, even if there's lots of positive messages coming in that you should definitely believe. Now, it doesn't have to stay this way. And today I want to talk to you about some different things that you could be doing at home to work on your confidence and self-esteem. And, in order to improve your mental well-being and start living the life that you deserve, okay? So, I've just put together 5 really simple tips, things that you could be working on at home, just in the comfort of your own homes, to start to try and feel good about yourself, okay? Okay, tip number 1, celebrate yourself, okay? Celebrate yourself. Now, lots of us will tend to ignore the things that we get right and only focus on what we haven't done or ways in which we feel we've failed. It's like our brains are hardwired to pick faults, and all that ends up doing is making us feel less than, like we're not good enough. At the end of every day, what I want you to do is start writing a list of things that you've done. So it's like a reverse to-do list. I'm a big fan of lists. I tend to write a list every day of things that I've got to do. But what tends to happen is, at the end of the day, I only focus on the things that I haven't done. It's very annoying. I could do 9 out of 10 of the things that I've got on my list, and all I'll look at is the one thing that I haven't done. So in order to celebrate yourself, what I want you to do is write a list of all of the things that you've done. Now, it doesn't have to be practical things. It doesn't have to be, oh, I cleaned my kitchen, or, you know, I put the rubbish out. It can be, you know, I called a friend for a chat. I offered support to someone. You know, I helped my kids with their homework. I sat down and watched my favourite show. I took time to look after myself. It can be anything. It can be small things. I made myself breakfast, or, you know, anything. But if you struggle with that, you could always use the following prompts. So, you know, 3 things. Something I did well today was, I felt proud when, I felt good about myself when. So I reckon if you really thought about it, there's probably loads of stuff that you could write down and be proud of yourself for, because generally I think we achieve a lot more than we give ourselves credit for, even if it's just small things. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, try something new. So generally people will stick within their comfort zone because it reduces the risk of failure. But when you give yourself something new to try, it can increase feelings of accomplishment and pride. And if you think you probably had some fear or worry about things, some of the things that you do today and not even think about, you know, when you were new to that, when you were first trying it. So now is a perfect time to try a new skill, start to learn a language or learn to bake, try and pick up some sign language, pick up a new craft, whatever brings you joy that you would normally tell yourself you don't have time for or wouldn't be good at anyway, give it a go. You know, we're all indoors, there's loads of stuff online, people posting tutorials about stuff, or, you know, maybe it's something that you used to do that you've, you know, maybe got out of the habit of doing, you've lost a bit of confidence. Give it a go. Prove to yourself that you can do the things that you set your mind to. Okay. Number 3, daily affirmations. Now, an affirmation refers primarily to the practice of positive thinking and self-encouragement. So when you affirm yourself, you're basically saying something nice about yourself to yourself. So this might feel a little bit cringe, but I want you to give it a go, because if you think for a moment about all of the compliments you pay to other people, without even thinking about it, oh, I like your top, or your hair looks nice today, or you're such a good friend, or thank you, that was so helpful, or, you know, show some examples of that kindness to yourself, you know, because generally we find it much easier to say nice things to other people and to compliment other people, but there's absolutely no reason why you aren't as deserving, if not more, of your love and affection than anyone else in your life that you give it to. So some examples of this might be, you know, I can achieve anything I put my mind to, or I'm worthy of love, or I accept myself completely as who I am. It can be anything. And you can write these down if you have access to like a little notebook or journal, or you can just say them to yourself over and over, either out loud or in your head. Make it part of your everyday routine, you know, in the morning when you're making your tea or while you're in the shower. The more you say these things to yourself, these positive things, the more you will believe them, I promise you. There's this wonderful thing called neuroplasticity. Can't really say it, it's a long old word, and I won't kind of bore you with the details of what it is, but on a really basic level, it's the ability of the brain to change throughout your lifetime. So basically the way you think, you don't always have to think that way, you can change that. So those negative thoughts that come automatically that affect your self-confidence and your self-esteem, you can change those. The more you tell yourself you're kind, beautiful, worthy, brave, the more you repeat those affirmations to yourself, the more readily your brain will think those thoughts instead of the negative thoughts that make you feel rubbish. So give it a go. Give it a go, guys. Okay, number 4. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Just stop. I mean, this is a tough one, guys. We all do it, especially with social media becoming more and more a part of our daily lives. We look at people and think they're more successful than us, or their house is nicer, or they seem happier. Why can't we be more like them? We see other people's successes as a reflection of our own failures. Now, firstly, what I would say about this is that people on social media and in life often will only show you what they want you to see. People generally won't post a picture of their living room after their 2-year-old has trashed it, or, you know, or they haven't cleaned it for weeks because they felt too low. They'll show you the picture of it looking all sparkly and clean because that's the image they want to portray. It doesn't mean that they're always on top of their housework, or that, you know, there's something wrong with you because you're not. When someone invites you around for a cuppa, you know, back in the olden days when we could do things like that, chances are they've just tidied up before you came over. You know, it's probably not that their house always looks like that. And same goes for selfies. I mean, filters are a wonderful thing. But what I'm trying to say is that do not base your own worth on what you see of someone else's life. And don't use that as a stick to beat yourself with. Focus on your own strengths. And when you catch a negative thought coming into your mind, ask yourself, would you say that to your friend? Would you say it to your sister or your daughter or your mum? If the answer is no to that, don't say it to yourself. Try and replace the thought with a kinder one, because chances are the comparisons we make against other people are already things that we feel insecure about. So you're already fighting a losing battle before you've even started. And even if that person's living room does always look spotless and sparkling, there's every chance that there are other things that you do better or other things that they struggle with. So recognise your own strengths and remind yourself of them every chance you get. Because no one can be good at everything, and we're all different, and we're all wonderful and beautiful in our own ways. And wouldn't life be boring if we were all the same, like robots that, you know, always did everything perfectly? Okay, so the final tip for improving your confidence and self-esteem is this. And these are not in any particular order of importance. If you only take one thing away from this, that's wonderful. You know, I'm not saying you have to do all of these things, but if any of these things particularly resonate with you, work on that one thing. So the final tip, number 5, set small daily goals. Even if it's something small, make it realistic. Write them down and check them before bed, you know, whether you've done it or not. If you have, notice how you feel when you've done it. Chances are you'll feel good. And you'll want to do more of that thing that's made you feel good. When you set yourself goals and achieve them, you feel motivated and productive, and you start to see yourself as someone who gets things done, and someone that achieves what they set their mind to. Now, it's important to keep this realistic, because what you don't want to do is set yourself this great big thing to do and end up feeling worse than you did before you started. So examples of this could be, I'm going to read a page of a book, or I'm going to have a bubble bath, or I'm going to watch my favourite film. In doing these things, the message you're sending to yourself is that you're worthy of that time, you're worthy of looking after yourself. You know, and you're all worth looking after. You know, I am someone that prioritises myself. All of those really positive messages that make you feel good inside, you know, when you are setting yourself a task to complete, especially if it's, you know, things that are going to be good for you, self-care things, like, you know, things that you enjoy. These are all things that are going to help your confidence and self-esteem, guys. So yeah, goals. You know, you can all achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to, and yeah. So yeah, 5 things to work on your confidence and self-esteem, because, you know, there's absolutely no reason why you cannot go on to achieve great things. There's no reason why you can't, you know, do the things that you were doing before this that made you feel good. You know, this is just a blip. You know, you've all got it within yourselves to do whatever it is that you set your mind to. So yeah, that's enough from me today. I'm just gonna have a little look. I still don't know how to fully use this, guys, but I am using my tripod today. We've all got little tripods and I feel like a BBC News correspondent. I feel all professional. Hi Georgia, hi Jackie, hi Clive, hi Keith, hi Champs. Oh, I love that. Good quote from my departed aunt. I have nothing to prove. I am enough. I love that. Now, guys, that is perfect. If you want to take that and repeat that to yourself every day, every morning, over and over again, that's beautiful. She sounds like she knew her stuff, your aunt. Hi, Georgina. Ooh, happy broadcast. Hi, Gareth. Hi, Lisa. Oh, I miss you too. Hi, Sheila. So I think that's everyone. So yeah, I mean, I could babble on, but I won't. I hope you'll have a great day, guys. And, you know, if you take anything away from this, just remember that you're all great and you are as worthy, if not more, than to show yourself the kindness and the love that you show everyone else. So yeah, that's all from me, and I'll see you next week.